The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a gig that I was not at, that I know that you were at, was the Sharky's pool hall gig.
Yeah.
Now, I
Sure.
mean, fill us in, because I've heard like a couple different versions from a couple different cats.
I'm a bit murky with it, to be honest, in terms of exact.
But you were on the turntables that night.
Yeah, I was literally DJing that night. So it was due to be, I can't remember the first act that was due on. It was the most unorganised gig ever. I can't remember who actually put the gig on.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Was it LC dudes? Wasn't it Brad Strutt and that?
Yeah,
over?
so LC were doing the gig, but I don't know if they put the gig on.
No, I don't think it was. It was someone else putting the gig on. I can't remember the promoter's name. I can't remember the promoter. It was pretty shambles gig, you know. So I'm getting there. There's no microphones. It was a pigsty of fucking cables everywhere. The decks had kind of half set up and skipping and not working. And so I'm sitting there trying to sort stuff out. You know what I mean? Like trying to plug stuff in and play some music or whatever. Got the decks going or whatever. And I'm playing some tunes or whatever. I remember Snare being there. I remember playing some records or whatever, and then some guy started over the pool hall or whatever was there's beef going on, some aggro was going on or whatever. Some guy got smashed basically, or some guy smashed a fucking pool stick or whatever like that. I was thinking, oh yeah, nothing much of it, you know what I mean? Like, just keep playing, and then seeing his hand in the air, you know what I mean, and just fired off a couple of shots or whatever. As far as I can remember, he was like, I remember seeing the gun in the air and he was holding it, just waving it around, some kid, whatever, and I'm fucking ducking down behind the decks, and I'm just like, I didn't get any seriousness of it, you know what I mean? Like, it was all over before you knew, and he was out of there and he'd legged it, you know, obviously he was pissed off, and it was like, turn the music down. And Snare was sitting there, I think, pretty much next to me or whatever, and we're just hiding behind the decks. What the fuck do we do now? This is a fucking Sharkies, man. I'm getting my shit and I'm getting out of here. So, yeah, I think it was within half an hour, I fucking got the fuck out. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And that shit was like on the news.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I didn't even think I realised what had happened. Like, it was a shot fired until after I was told.
Okay.
Like, I didn't really get it. I was just like, oh, what the fuck was that all about? You know, no, he fired fucking shot and whatever. Oh, shit. All right. And I bugged out before I didn't give a statement or anything. I just fucking got my records and just dumped them in the car and drove off. And fucking, you know what I mean? I got the hell out of there. Fuck that.
Yeah, man, as you should.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting gig, man. That was a pretty interesting gig. I think I was texting someone. I was texting because half the cats weren't there yet. So I was texting them going, don't fucking roll, don't roll, man. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck's going on? Don't come down here, man. Don't come down here.
Yeah, I think from memory, when I spoke to Simplex about it, he remembers getting text from someone saying, oi, man, this shit just popped off. Don't come down there.
Yeah.
But I think maybe he said his sister or someone close was down there. So they just went straight down.
Yeah.
And then Favo's just everywhere with the cherries flaring up and shit.
Yep.
Some dudes ended up getting caught or, getting in trouble for it.
Yeah, I don't know who it was. It was a young cat. I can't remember now. It's hazy days, man, that one.
That was a long time ago,
Yeah,
man. That'd be like 15, 16 years ago.
There was a lot of beef and a lot of gigs back then. The violence and hip-hop was a bad thing that went with the gigs. Like even the Oars release at the German bar or whatever.
The German club.
The German club. After that, with
shit.
the gig went fine, you know what I mean? But afterwards, there was biffo out the front and some head got cracked open or whatever, and then the cops got caught, and then suddenly we got tagged with that. And so then promoters around town know the Oars and violence, you know what I mean? And we got tagged, the Hoods got tagged with violence. Everyone, PJ shows got tagged with violence. So basically it was very hard for us to get gigs or to get promoters venues to let us in because there was a lot of violence attached with hip-hop, whether it was true or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just, it went with it. So
Yeah, I actually know the dude who had his head.
yeah, that gig. Yeah, right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He was like one of my closest, if not my closest homeboy. It was his younger brother.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was some That was some fucked up shit, man.
Yeah,
Like,
see, I didn't even know what happened there. That was after the gig, wasn't it? It was out the front or something?
yeah, I think it wasn't even actually out the front of the venue. From memory,
Yeah, right.
the gig kind of spilled over to what's that little room just there? What's it called? Fuck, it's right next to the car park, Rhino Room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it turns out 5-0
Yeah, right.
were the ones that.
Oh, fuck off. No
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and he was bleeding internally, so they had to rush him to the hospital and then cut his head open to release the blood because it was creating too much pressure under his skull. And like, I just remember,
So it's
like,
5-0 that cracked him. Assholes.
yeah, and like, yeah, it all got pretty hectic, man. And like, I remember seeing the.
See, we didn't hear about that. All we got, it was basically at the end of the night, I got news from Kirk basically saying there's been fucking violence and it's been attached to the
man.
gig. And the next day, it all got attached to Orr's gig. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah, that was fucked, man. You know, the stitching on a baseball, that's like what his head looked like, man. It was just fucked. And then when we heard.
See, that comes home pretty serious, doesn't it? Man?
Yeah, man. When we heard what happened and who was behind it and shit, we were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Are you for real? And then obviously trying to resolve it, you know how that can go, didn't really end up getting anywhere.
You won't get it.
Exactly. And it was just a fucked up situation that he just couldn't do anything
That's
about.
unfortunate.
And we just sort of had to watch.
Sitting by the sidelines as such and watch this go down.
It's just fucked, man. You actually watched a dude change as a person.
wow.
For the better, though.
Yeah.
It's almost like one of them things where I think maybe he realised, like, fuck, man, it can just all end tomorrow.
Yeah. He realised how quickly things
And
could actually
he
change.
became a bit more social, and so, you know.
He could have gone the other way, though, as well. You know, he can turn some cat inward
man.
as well, and you can imagine what it can do to people, man.
Yeah, it was fucked. I actually completely forgot about that until
Yeah,
I
wow,
just
man.
brought
Sorry
it
to bring
up.
that up for you, man.
I asked the question.
Yeah.
The lesson. 927. Oh, yeah.